I almost forgot to set the alarm. Whoops. Whoops. That's not right. Make a new one. There. Perfect amount of time. Welcome on in. That's updated. So, basically, I'm an impulsive loser and want to continue the 1 hour I managed to play of the Genshin update using my stream time. This is one of the few times I will actually stream Genshin. If it lands on the coin. So let's just get this over with. Heads, regularly scheduled Tuesday, Cinderella Phenomenon stream. Tails, Genshin. 3 out of 5. Great start. Okay. Guess I'm fine with that. I have an entire non-stream day tomorrow. Let me change the... I have an entire non-stream day tomorrow to play it by myself. This is just, I wanted to continue playing it, even though I was already an hour in, and I imagine if I was streaming it, or playing the stream, and I should have started earlier. But you know what? It's fine. What part are we on? Checking my VODs. Checking my VODs. Four. Let me take that new tab off the screen real quick. Yeah. Usually I do this before, but since we flipped the coin, I have to type all this in now. Just a moment. If I can learn how to spell, this would go much faster. Then that. This is very unprofessional. Incredibly unprofessional. Close that. There we go. Yes. We're back in the business. Back in business. Back in business. Oh, I didn't adjust my monitor. Yeah, tomorrow I'll just put myself in a Genshin and Grand Blue coma, because the Grand Blue event, the New Nights event, should be starting soon. I'll play that, and I will just put myself into a coma for the next 48 hours until I'm here again, playing this. And I like this game too. I realize my tone may have implied otherwise. I don't feel that way. I'm just caught up in the excitement. She's a regular at the Merchant, according to Parfait and Delora, a good witch. She orders tea here from time to time. She has mud on her shoes. Oh, why is she glaring at me like that? Turn on the TV for my dog, even though she's asleep. She's used to having it on, even if it's on mute. I believe it's because of your shoes, dear. Okay, good. I'm good. Always have to check my audio. I've just cleaned the floor. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll clean up after myself right away. Good. Ah! Princess is something else. I've never seen a witch so frightened of someone before. Yeah. I still didn't, look up how to deepen my voice. I keep saying I'm gonna do it, but I can never find the opportunity. Ideally, it'd be some situation like this. There's no one really around. It's like, admittedly, I get embarrassed pretty easily. So the last thing I want is someone to go, "Hey, what you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing. Leave me alone." I'm not trying to imitate cute anime movies. Though it surely cleans up the tracks she'd made coming in before going to speak with Parfait. Stop. Is it? Oh. Yep, that's the one I keep doing. Figured out what I was doing. It's the right click. I keep accidentally doing it. Even though Parfait says that Delora and this witch is good, I don't trust her judgment. Especially not when she considers Delora, who ruined my life, a good person. I put the room back in its resting place before double-checking my work. Fan isn't too loud, is it? I should probably turn it down, since it doesn't need to be on what it was before. Now that I'm done, I can continue to work on breaking my curse. That should be better. I just realized I still had it at 2. So it might be being picked up. Oh. Whom should I ask for help today? Rod. Who else? Who else? It's fine. We got plenty of slots. I glance over at Rod as he enters the tavern. That was almost perfect timing. Like a video game. He told me that he does not intend to break his curse yet. Here he is again. Waiting for the Rod must sense my eyes on him because the minute he walks in, he turns to look at me. His expression is as cold and unmoving as always. He pointedly leaves the tavern area and enters the reception. I follow after him. I told you to find someone else. What can I do to make you stop hating me? What? You said that whatever I had done to you or your family was bad. So if I reverse that, I might get a good deed. You truly don't understand how goodness works, do you? I wouldn't be asking you if I did. Rod closes his eyes and rubs the back of his neck. He looks thoughtful, but also irritated. I intend to break my curse as soon as possible, and I'll do whatever it takes. And it seems to me that the easiest way to achieve a good deed is to fix the supposedly bad things I've already done. So are you going to help me or not? Tell Lady Parfait I'll see her another time. He leaves the room without answering my question. I ball my hands into fists. And he calls me the cruel one? A month has passed and I have yet to complete even one good deed. Not for any lack of trying, though. I've been asking around for advice on how to be a good person and received various answers. Let's put this over here. Oh, why is the window so small? Why is the window so small? Oh, geez. My bad. Excuse me. I didn't even realize it was up in the corner like that when I was checking my audio. Looking at the wrong thing. What makes someone good? I'd say being selfless. I think it's important that you consider another person's feelings. Patience. The ability to soothe even the most broken of hearts. Forget I asked. Bravery. Loyalty. You must be beautiful both on the inside and out. Right. Must I be all of those things in order to be good? According to Parfait, I cannot just pretend. It has to come from my heart. I place my hand on my chest and consider the steady pulse of my heartbeat. That won't be easy. I close my eyes as I'm thinking of all the possible ways I might be able to break my curse, but in the end, my mind is blank. Mother, what am I supposed to do? A dream? Your personal feelings are nothing but a weakness for others to exploit. That is why you do not show them. You only show them that you are strong.
Yes, Mother.
You must not let false kindness deceive you. People will use niceties to trick you into exploiting your weak emotions. But you can trust me, Sibo. I'll never hurt you. I'll never lie to you. I am all you need. I love you, Sibo.
I love you too, Mother.
How are those listens of yours going? I hope you're not giving anyone a difficult time. I'm the only one having a difficult time.
Have you tried pairing up with someone?
Multiple times. He doesn't want me perfect. Pairing up?
Some of the people in the tavern pair up to assist each other. 2 heads are better than 1, as they say.
It's not a bad idea, but the problem is with her. Who's going to volunteer to pair up with the Ice Princess? She has a point. People may not glare at me anymore, but it doesn't escape me that I'm still disliked.
Most of the boarders at the Merchant and volunteered to help her, remember? I haven't heard any of them retract her offers.
It's only a matter of time.
Stop it, Laura. It's your choice, Princess. Pairing up is only a suggestion.
Would pairing up with someone really help me break my curse?
To unlock my phone so I can check the time. And I like to keep an eye on it.
Gauge how long things take. Because I do have to time my streams. I feel like I mention this a lot, but it's just a fact of what I have to do. I can't go super long, because Sundays for Tuesdays I stream nights, and Thursdays and Fridays I have a limited amount of time where the conditions are perfect. Not a whole lot of people running around. Yeah. Can't go super duper long. One day, I want an office. My desk is in my living room. Not a whole lot of privacy, which is another limitation. What if they end up being an annoyance instead?
Princess? Excuse me, Princess? I'm sorry for disturbing you, but you've just been staring at your tray and the customer is waiting for his order.
Of course. Dolora has me helping a niece today. The merchant is unexpectedly busy and they cannot keep with all the customers. Stop daydreaming, Sibo. Food doesn't deliver itself. I don't need you to tell me that. I stretch out on my bed. The stiff mattress does little to soothe my aching muscles. I was on my feet the entire day, struggling to keep up with the steady stream of people that came into the Merchant. I've never seen the Merchant this busy. God, I know I looked up how to pronounce that, but it still feels like I'm doing something wrong. I roll onto my stomach and bury my face into the pillow. My arms and legs protest the movement. I refuse to live this type of life much longer. I need to break this curse as soon as possible.
Why don't you pair up with someone?
Pairing up might not be such a bad idea. Hello? Oh. Fritz and Waltz are locked. They do seem rather important. Anyways, as I mentioned when we started in part 1, we're doing recommended route order because there is one. That's just how I like to play these types of games. Anyways, let's start with the step railroad. I'll ask Rod if he'll pair up with me. I know we do not have a good relationship. Rod has spared no effort in telling me how cruel I've been to his family. But I feel that rectifying whatever mistakes I made with them might be an easy way to get free good deeds. Oh, this is going to be very interesting.
But, Sibo, didn't he tell you that he didn't want to break his curse?
Yeah, but that might not be the whole truth.
He's still reluctant to break his curse despite all the advice I've offered him. Perhaps you'll be able to encourage him where I couldn't.
I don't care if he does not want to break his curse. I only need him to help me remedy the supposedly bad things I've done to his family. I believe that will be the easiest way to break my curse. The problem is that I rarely see him here. He's usually at the palace. In order for this arrangement to work, I'll need to be in the palace. I, for one, think it's a terrible idea. What if... Dolores' voice trails off. She averts her gaze to the floor, her expression a mixture of anxiety and solemn consideration. What if what? Is there something I should know? Both the witch and the fairy just stare at me silently. After a few moments, Perfect speaks.
You'd be far away from us, Princess. We wouldn't be able to assist you. Witches could be lying in wait for you, knowing that you're the true crown princess of Angiel. They might seek to use you for their own purposes.
What sorts of purposes? Why would the witches be after me in the first place?
Many of them have been corrupted by the Tenebrarum. Darkness has invaded their hearts, making them bitter. Many of them simply want to see the fairy tale curses continue on undisturbed. To see the fairy tale curses continue on undisturbed. There. This is all just speculation, but it's better to be safe rather than sorry.
What would you have me do?
Delora?
I have an idea. I think I could get her into the palace and make sure there's someone there to look out for her.
How?
Just trust me. Tomorrow, the Ice Princess returns to her palace. I have a bad feeling about this. This cannot be happening. But you look so cute in the maid outfit. Don't dilly-dally. The princess will soon be awake and expecting her new maid. I close my eyes and suppress the urge to groan. How is it that Delora was able to turn me into Emmeline's personal maid? She thought this would be funny, did she? Well, I'll make her pay for this. I expect you not to be late again. We have very strict rules on how the palace staff should behave. Not exactly sure how Delora managed this. She told me she was going to cast a spell on me and that would be over as soon as I opened my eyes. I closed my eyes and sure enough, when I opened them, I found myself here in a maid uniform. What did she do? The maid continues to babble at me. How annoying. I pretend to listen to her as she leads me through the palace hallways. Emmeline and Rod's chambers are located here.
Oh.
God, if only you were an option. We come to a hall when Emily suddenly appears from around the corner. Your Highness. The maid ducks into a neat courtesy. Hey! Sorry, my sister was passing through for a moment, giving me some updates on fixing our PS4 that's having problems. Emmeline's eyes met mine. I tense as I wait for any signs of recognition from her, but she only gives me a curious look as if wondering who I am. She clearly doesn't recognize me. She clearly does not recognize me. I can speak clearly too. I promise. The maid suddenly reaches back and pulls at my shoulder, forcing me into a bow. You are in front of the Crown Princess of Angiel. Show some respect, girl. My apologies, Your Highness. She's new and clearly needs to be taught some manners. Excuse me?
Oh, please, there's no need for that.
What's she trying to achieve by pretending to be kind to a palace maid? Who's she trying to fool? Your Highness, this is your new personal maid. Emmeline glances at the maid, looking confused.
Why do I need a personal maid?
It is by the king's orders, princess. Emmeline turns to look at me again.
What's your name?
She's talking to you, girl. I scowled at me before facing Emmeline. I cannot believe I've fallen so low that I am now being ordered around by a maid. Sibo.
It's nice to meet you, Sibo. I hope we can get along.
When I won't respond, Emmeline's face falls.
I was just heading to breakfast with my family.
Of course, Sibo will escort you to the dining hall. I raise my eyebrows at the maid, irritated.
There's no need for concern. I can get there on my own.
I breathe a sigh of relief. I'm not here to babysit her. The maid leans forward and whispers something in my ear. I don't know how it is that you landed this position, but you owe the royal family your diligence and respect. If you continue to show disrespect, I will be having a word with the king. The maid pushes me forward so that I am forced to stand next to Emmeline. She will escort you to the dining hall, Your Highness. Her job requires that she follow you everywhere in case you require assistance with anything.
But
It's almost time for breakfast, Princess Emmeline. Emmeline frowns and looks at me.
I'm so sorry.
What is she apologizing for?
Good morning.
Good morning. It seems you have met your personal maid. The king's eyes widen as soon as he spots me. You look familiar. Does he recognize me? I felt a little tremble in my heart as I considered that hope. Are you not the girl who came to the gates before? I deflate with a soundless sigh. He remembers me as the peasant. This is the first time I'm meeting you as Emily's personal maid. What's your name? Sibo. It's a lovely name. We're glad to have you here, Sibo. The king gives me a warm smile. The softness of his gaze makes me angry. He never treated me so kindly when he remembered me as his own daughter. Emily takes her seat as I walk to stand at the walls beside the ever-maids and butlers. The door opens and Rod walks inside. He greets the king, Ophelia, and then his sister. He's just about to take his seat when his eyes suddenly fall on me. The shock is apparent on his face. Rod, is something wrong? I see there's a new maid on staff. His tone is almost accusatory. I bristle at his words and I'm about to say something when Ophelia speaks. She's Emmeline's new personal maid, Sibo. It's yawn, I'm sorry. Rod stares at me for a few moments, his expression unreadable. Eventually he moves to take his seat. I stand silent and watch the royal family eat their breakfast. The small area is filled with conversation. Alright, still looking good. The four of them smile at each other when they speak, and it is easy to see how comfortable they all are with one another. When I was still here, our meals were always so quiet, but everyone looks so happy now. I bite my lip to will the heavy feeling on my. Rod told me that before, but I didn't want to believe him. Oops. I turn back to the conversation at hand. I have something very important to discuss with you, Emmeline.
Oh?
I brought this up before, but now the matter is more pressing.
Is this about...
Yes, it's about the ball. Ophelia gives the king a disapproving look.
Dear.
I know it seems a strange proposition, but this is a royal tradition. Emmeline has a suitable marrying age, and this ball may yet help her find a suitor.
But a husband.
Emmeline's cheeks are tinted pink. A royal ball for Emmeline? For her to find a husband? I never would have agreed to such a thing. The king never forced me into one because he knew that. I'll not force you to marry someone you don't love, Emmeline. We agreed on this ball to uphold tradition. All eligible bachelors will be invited in 4 months' time, and you will choose the man you want to court you. I did find my true love through a ball, after all. He glances at Ophelia, who responds with a fond smile. Her expression falls back into something more worried when she looks at her daughter.
But what if I can't choose anyone?
We will throw one ball as per tradition. We will not force you into another ball if you do not find a good suitor, but we must uphold traditions at least once. Perhaps this will push you to think more about the future. I will not put any added pressure on you, Emmeline. but I would be happy to see grandchildren before I have to give up my throne. I'm not getting any younger, you don't look that old.
Father.
I can tell that the king is trying to make light of the situation, but there is an undertone of seriousness. Emmeline eventually sighs and slowly nods.
I understand.
My gaze shifts to Rod to search for a reaction, but his expression is impassive. No reaction at all. Did he know this was going to happen?
But can I really be the princess the kingdom of Angiel deserves? I feel so unprepared.
You are the crown princess of Angiel. You must be confident. Emmeline looked. Emmeline looks down, looking genuinely distressed.
I'm finished. May I be excused?
But, sweetheart, you've barely touched your food. You may. Emily stands up and ducks into a quick curtsy before rushing from the room. I do not move until I feel Rod's glare on me. I realize I meant to follow Emmeline.
Excuse me.
I curtsy and follow after Emmeline. I barely make it a few steps away from the dining hall before the door flies open and Rod is rushing after me. What are you doing here? Answer him. I'm here to break my curse. You expect me to believe that when you had people offering to help you with the Mershen? Ron's expression changes, anger clear in his eyes. No, I know why you're really here. What are you talking about? I thought you might take back what was rightfully yours, didn't you? You have no qualms about referring to my family again. I stare at him, nonplussed by his accusations. I carefully quell the simmering anger inside me. The last thing I want is to be fired before I break my curse. I'm not here to hurt anyone, so stop accusing me of such things. We glare at each other in silence. I'd always thought that Rod was closed off and quiet, but his emotions are always blazing in his eyes. You shouldn't be here. Rod steps back, but his gaze is still fierce. I don't have time for this. I'm going to find Emmeline. Why, so you can insult her? No, because it's not my job to attend to her. Excuse me. Last place I expect to find Emmeline is in the throne room. Much to my surprise, I find her standing alone inside, staring up at the throne.
Oh.
When she turns to face me, she has a guilty expression on her face.
I'm sorry.
What is she apologizing for?
I was very rude earlier, walking out on everyone at breakfast.
Emmeline gazes back at the front and sighs.
I'm sure any other girl would be happy to have a ball. I mean, it's like something out of a fairy tale. But
She sighs once again and looks down at her clasped hands.
It all sounds so perfect in the fairy tales. 3 days is all it takes before everyone's found their true love. But I don't think that's how it works in real life, do you?
I have nothing to say in response when Emmeline turns her beseeching gaze to me.
I don't know how I'm supposed to marry someone I barely even know. Is this really what it means to be the crown princess?
Isn't this precisely what you wanted?
Excuse me?
When your mother married the king, you became a princess. You went from rags to riches overnight. I cannot keep the bitterness from my voice when I speak. Your life is playing out like Cinderella's, is it not? All you are missing are the glass slippers, and even then I am sure the king could arrange for a pair. I cannot understand why you are so unhappy.
Neither can I.
Emily turns away from me to face the front once more, and in the sun that streams through the window I can see something shining on her cheeks. Is she crying?
I'm so ungrateful. Sibo, what would you do?
What?
If you were in my place? If you became crown princess overnight, would you go through with the ball? For the sake of Angeline's tradition, or for the sake of your role?
I would never do anything so worthless. The king never brought up the subject with me. He most likely knew I would have refused. Emily suddenly pats her cheeks and turns to me, a wry smile on her face.
I could do with some fresh air. Shall we go to my friend's shop in town?
We only just exited the front room and Emmeline stopped short and I almost bumped into her back.
Oh.
Your Highness, what a pleasant... Sir Mithras abruptly stops to stare at me. Why is Sir Mithras looking at me so intently?
Is something the matter, Sir Mithras?
No, nothing at all, Your Highness. I am just... Do you know me, sir? Hello? Amused.
Oh, you haven't met my new maid. This is Sibo.
Sibo? There's something in Sir Mithras' gaze that I don't trust. The silence is stifling, so I curtsy at him. Sir? Charming. Sir Mithras turns his attention back to Emmeline. Where are you off to on this pleasant day?
Oh, just off to visit a friend.
Make sure you bring your guards with you, Princess.
Of course. I wonder what's taking him so long.
Emily decided to invite Rod to join us on her visit. One of the guards offered to get Rod for her, but he still has yet to return. And ever stands with us by the gates ready to escort us into town. Why does the king keep these incompetent fools if they cannot find a single person?
Maybe we should go look for Rod. But then, what if he gets here as soon as we go searching for him?
I sigh. I'll go look for him. You can stay here.
But you don't need to run errands for me.
She has yet to ask me to do anything. What does she think a maid even does? I look at her solemnly and eyes from her. Finally, she relents.
Thank you, Sibo.
I decline my head just slightly before walking off. I feel like a babysitter. I cannot believe I have to search for Rod. It's only slightly better than being dragged around by that broom. I turn around the corner and nearly bump into someone. I take a few steps back just in time. Princess? I look up in shock, for its surprise mirrors my own. Where have you been? I've been looking for you everywhere. He pauses to stare at my clothing. Why are you wearing a maid's uniform? Fritz, you remember who I am? I never forget you, Princess Sibo. But it doesn't seem like I'm the only one who remembers you. What's going on? The only people who remember me are the witches, fairies, and Fritz, are you? I stop when I hear the sound of approaching footsteps. Fritz turns at the sound of and stoops low into a formal bow when he sees Rod. Your Highness? Rod's impassive face twists with annoyance when he sees me. Oliver? Ollie Ollie. My cat's singing in the background to himself. Braun does not even acknowledge Fritz as he walks past him and stops in front of me. Shouldn't you be attending to my sister? I don't understand. Prince Rod, do you know why the princess is dressed like this? Rod is clearly just as surprised as I am that Fritz remembers me. You recognize her? You remember the princess too? Wish I didn't. But if you knew, why didn't you say anything when she first went missing? Could someone please explain to me why she's attending to Princess Emmeline? This is Fritz. I cut him off before he can ask any more questions. I feel Rod's gaze on my back as I turn to look at Fritz. No more questions. But Princess, right now, I am a palace maid. A what? It's a long story, and I have no time to explain now, so do not ask. Fritz is clearly discontent. He seems to struggle for a few moments before he finally sighs and nods. I heard an ambulance approaching. It has passed. Yes, Your Highness. What's I say here? It's nice to hear someone here speak my title. I will not do if it has calls me that on accident. It is just Placebo for now. I did the wrong voice. Oh well. But I turned to face Rod. Emmeline's waiting. What? The guard could not even deliver her message. Where you go? Emmeline wants to visit her friend's shop in town, and she wants you to go with us, Rod. Town? Ordinarily, I wouldn't mind Fritz joining us, but right now he might just be unnecessary company. He may very well give me away. Rod barely wants to speak with me when it's just the two of us. I doubt Fritz would make him more sociable. I am assuming that accompanying me was not an option at this point. Yes. Fritz looks down for a moment before looking at Rod. Alarm's in 3 minutes. Let's go. I'm sorry to ask this of you, Your Highness, but since she refuses to let me do so, please look after Prince Sibo in my place. Ridiculous, I don't need to be coddled. Even if I did, Rod couldn't care less if I'm hurt. I'll do my best, Sir Fitzgerald. I can't tell if he's being genuine or not. Fritz bows to the both of us. Stay safe, Prince Sibo. And you, Your Highness. Rod turns and begins to walk away without another word. Come on. Rod's silent as we make our way back to the palace gates. I'm still thinking about what he said to Fritz earlier. Why would Rod agree to Fritz's request? Because he just wanted him to leave? I stare at Rod's back as he walks in front of me. Sometimes I cannot figure out what he's thinking.
Rod, Sibo.
Emmeline beams when she catches sight of us.
Are you ready?
Rod crosses his arms. He does not look very happy with his sister. Even though Rod is younger, I cannot help but think that he often sounds like the older of the two. I'm busy, Emmeline. I can't keep dropping everything whenever you want to leave the palace.
I'm sorry, but I just really need some fresh air today.
You can get plenty of fresh air on the palace grounds.
I felt I needed to be off the palace grounds.
Emmeline's face drops as she looks down at the ground. Ron lets out an exasperated sigh before stepping inside the carriage. Come on.
What?
Just for an hour, okay?
Thank you.
I soon come to realize that it's easier to walk around town now that everyone has forgotten who I am. The atmosphere around town feels a lot brighter. All the spiteful stares are gone. Princess Emmeline.
Oh, how are you doing? Is your wife feeling better?
Emmeline has responded to most of the people who know her. She seems to know a good majority of the people in the town. I hang back as Emmeline speaks with the man. The night escort hovers somewhere nearby, watching for disturbances. We're going to take longer than an hour if she continues like this. I'm not going to rush her. Don't you need to return to the palace to continue whatever work it is you were doing? Ah, that's my alarm. Okay. So that is it for today. We'll be back Thursday with more of this. Boop. Have a good one. Have a good day, night, evening, whatever. Be good to each other. More of this next time. Bye.